Hey, good afternoon, everybody. It's April 3rd, 2024. We are in the Old Testament book of Esther, and we're going to read chapter 6 today. Uh, this section is occurring in between the feasts of Esther. She had her first feast where she promised, hey, we come back tomorrow, you the king, and you Haman, and I will tell you what my request is. We see Haman in between the feasts has gone home. He thinks he really thinks he's doing good now. He's in good with the king. Asks his advisors and his wife what they thinks he should do, and they say, oh, build a gallows 50 feet high, 50 cubits high, so it can be seen everywhere, and go tell the king that you want to hang Mordecai. And Mordecai says, that's a great idea, and builds the gallows. So so Haman builds the gallows. He thinks he's really at the top. We see the king can't sleep. So he calls one of his eunuchs together and says, go bring me the Chronicles. I want you to read some of the good, great, amazing things I've done to me. Maybe that'll help me sleep. As the eunuch's reading, he comes to the section of Mordecai saving the king's life, and the king says, "Oh, hey, we must have done something really good for Mordecai. What did we do for him?" And the eunuch says, "We didn't do anything for him." And the king says, "Oh, we got to correct that. We got to do something good for him. Give me one of my advisors, whoever's closest, and have him come in, and we're going to figure out what we're going to do for Mordecai." And it just so happens that's when Haman has walked in to ask to hang Mordecai. But before he can do that, the king says, "Hey, we need to honor somebody. What should I do to honor somebody? He was really great. He needs a great honor from me." And Haman, of course, thinks, well, who could be greater than me? And so he outlines this grand ceremony to honor this person. And then the king tells him, great, go honor Mordecai. Exactly the last thing that Haman wanted to do. But Haman does it. And after he's done, he goes back to his advisors and his wife, and he tells them what just happened. And instead of the gushing advice that he should go do whatever he wants, they're like, ooh, Mordecai's a Jew, and I think you screwed up, and you're going to lose. But Haman's going to persist. And then they're brought into the second banquet, where we're going to get the climax of this story coming up here. So let's go ahead and we're going to read Esther chapter 6. And again, as we read here, we don't see God directly, but we want to see God in all those little details and all these things that happen and all these people being put in places. God's hand. Okay, it's all done for God's glory, God's will. Let's go ahead and read Esther chapter 6. That night the king could not sleep. So one was commanded to bring the book of the records of the Chronicles, and they were read before the king. And it was found written that Mordecai had told of Bigthana and Teresh, two of the king's eunuchs, the doorkeepers, who had sought to lay hands on King Ahasuerus. Then the king said, what honor or dignity has been bestowed on Mordecai for this? And the king's servants who attended him said, well, nothing has been done for him. So the king said, who is in the court? Now Haman had just entered the outer court of the king's palace to suggest that the king hang Mordecai on the gallows that he had prepared for him. The king's servant said to him, Haman is there, standing in the court. And the king said, let him come in. So Haman came in, and the king asked him, what shall be done for the man whom the king delights to honor? Now Haman thought in his heart, whom would the king delight to honor more than me? And Haman answered the king, for the man whom the king delights to honor, let a royal robe be brought which the king has worn, and a horse on which the king is ridden, which has a royal crest placed on its head. Then let this robe and horse be delivered to the hand of one of the king's most noble princes, that he may array the man whom the king delights to honor. Then parade him on horseback through the city square, and proclaim before him, thus shall it be done to the man whom the king delights to honor. Then the king said to Haman, hurry, take the robe and the horse, as you have suggested, and do so for Mordecai the Jew, who sits within the king's gates. Leave nothing undone of all that you have spoken. So Haman took the robe and the horse. He arrayed Mordecai and led him on horseback through the city square, and proclaimed before him, thus shall it be done to the man whom the king delights to honor. Afterward Mordecai went back to the king's gate, but Haman hurried to his house, mourning and with his head covered. When Haman told his wife Zeresh and all his friends everything that had happened to him, his wise men and wife Zeresh said to him, if Mordecai, before whom you have begun to fall, is of Jewish descent, you will not prevail against him, but will surely fall before him. While they were still talking with him, the king's eunuchs came and hastened to bring Haman to the banquet, which Esther had prepared. May God bless the reading of his word. May God bless you. Bye.